Welcome back to the deep dive. You know, if just hearing SAT makes you maybe feel a little bit stressed, well, you're definitely not the only one.
Oh, absolutely. It looms pretty large for a lot of students, like this huge hurdle.
Right. But what if it's not really that? What if we looked at it differently, maybe strategically, as a real opportunity?
That's exactly the angle we're taking today. We're doing a deep dive, kind of a shortcut really, into Chapter 2 of the official SAT study guide.
Ah, the one titled Doing Your Best on the SAT. Sounds promising.
It is. And our goal isn't just, surface level tips. We
Yeah.
want to pull out every single important bit of info,
Mhm.
the skills, the strategies, what the questions are like, those official tips so you feel genuinely prepared, not just, well, swamped by it all.
Yeah, totally empowered. Because the guide makes it pretty clear, doesn't it? The SAT isn't just some random test. It's meant to reflect the stuff you actually need for college and, beyond that for a career.
Exactly. It's about showing what you've learned in high school, what you can do, not just jumping through a hoop.
So let's unpack it. Where does the guide say the best preparation actually starts? Is it some kind of secret trick?
Well, funny enough, no. The guide really emphasizes that the best prep isn't a last-minute cram session or some secret hack. It's actually just working hard in school consistently.
Seriously. So like doing your homework, studying for tests, asking questions when you're stuck, that's the core strategy.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
It sounds simple, maybe even a bit obvious, but the SAT is designed to measure exactly those skills and knowledge points you pick up day to day in your high school classes. The stuff you need later anyway.
Okay, so it's about applying what you learn. Makes sense. Let's get into the specifics then. What about the reading section? What's it really testing?
Right, so the reading test, it's gauging your ability to handle pretty challenging texts, and from different areas too, history, social studies, science, even literature.
Challenging how? It's
Yep.
just long passages.
Not just long. It's about digging deeper. Yes, you need to find information that's stated directly, but the real skill is figuring out what's implied. The author's purpose, making logical inferences, kind of reading between the lines.
Ah, okay. So college level thinking, basically. What makes a text complex in their eyes?
Good question. The guide points to a few things. Maybe some uncommon vocabulary, more complex sentence structures, sometimes a lot of information packed in, abstract ideas like justice or freedom, and seeing the subtle connections between different concepts.
Gotcha. So if it's about complex texts and context, what's the deal with vocabulary? Do I need to memorize a dictionary?
Haha. No, thankfully. That's a big relief for most people. There's no separate vocab section anymore. Instead, words are tested in context,
Eating.
meaning you have to figure out the precise meaning of a word based on how it's actually used in that particular sentence or paragraph,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe how it adds to the mood or the tone. It's applied vocab, not just recall.
Okay, that feels more practical. Let's shift to writing and language. I hear that split into two main parts.
Yeah, broadly speaking, the first part is called expression of ideas. Now, this isn't about your ideas. It's about fixing up someone else's writing.
Like being an editor.
Exactly. You're looking at clarity, organization, logical flow, making sure it all hangs together, rhetorical effectiveness. Can you spot a clumsy sentence and make it clearer? Add support where it's missing. Cut out stuff that doesn't belong. Choose better words, that sort of thing.
Okay, making the writing sharp. And the second part.
That's standard English conventions. This is your classic grammar, usage, punctuation check.
The nitty-gritty stuff.
Yep. Spotting run-on sentences, comma splices, making sure lists are parallel, to swim, to run, and to eat, not mixing forms, fixing misplaced modifiers, weird shifts in verb tense, vague pronouns, and definitely those common mix-ups like it sits there.
Wow, okay. That covers a lot of ground. Very useful skills, actually. Way beyond just the SAT. What about math? What's the philosophy there?
The math section is really focused on problem solving, using tools strategically, understanding algebraic structure, analyzing data, and applying math to, like, real-world situations.
So not just abstract equations.
Not just that, the guide stresses fluency, accuracy, and efficiency. It's often about finding the smartest way to solve a problem, not just any way. You'll be connecting ideas from algebra, geometry, trig, stats, all the stuff you've learned, but applied.
Interesting. Using high school math to solve practical problems. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so we know what they're testing. But knowing the layout, the format that seems super important too, the guide says knowing directions saves time,
Well,
right?
absolutely critical. Every second counts. Knowing the format beforehand means you're not wasting precious time reading instructions on test day. You can just dive in.
So what does it generally look like? I remember seeing 2 columns of text.
Yeah, often two-column presentation. And in writing and language, you'll see those underlined parts you need to focus on for potential changes.
Okay, let's break down the sections. Reading first.
Reading test. 65 minutes, 52 questions. You'll get passages, sometimes paired passages to compare, and sometimes graphs or tables that go with them.
Then writing and language.
That's quicker. 35 minutes, 44 questions. Again, passages, but with underlined bits for you to edit or revise. And some questions might be about the passage as a whole. Oh, and remember, the no change option is always a possibility. Don't forget that one.
Good tip. I'll risk
Yeah.
math. 2 sections there, right? No calculator first.
Correct. Math test, no calculator. 25 minutes, just 20 questions. The first 15 are multiple choice. The last 5 are those grid-ins, student-produced responses.
And obviously no calculator allowed. Tests your mental math and core understanding.
Exactly. They give you some basic geometry formulas, circles, triangles on the test paper itself, and assume everything's real numbers unless they tell you otherwise.
Then the calculator section.
That was longer. 55 minutes for 38 questions. Questions 1 through 30 are multiple choice, and 31 through 38 are grid-ins again.
And you can use a calculator here. Same reference formulas provided.
Yep, same formulas and general notes apply.
Okay, let's talk about those grid-ins for a sec. They can seem a bit intimidating. You write the number in the boxes, fill in the bubbles. What are the absolute must-know rules?
Super important rules here. Only fill in 1 bubble per column. Crucially, no answer will ever be negative. Some math problems might have 2 answers, but for the grid-in, you only put 1 correct answer.
And things like fractions or decimals.
Right. Mixed numbers like 3.5, you cannot grid like that. You have to use the improper fraction, 72, or the decimal 3.5. If your decimal is too long, like 0.6666, you can round it to fit, say 0.667, or just cut it off, 0.666, but fill all the boxes you use.
So precision is key. Any flexibility.
Yeah, a nice little tip is you don't have to start your answer the first column on the left. If you prefer, you can start further right as long as your whole answer fits.
Good to know. What about the optional essay? What's the task there? It's 50 minutes, right?
50 minutes, yeah. And it's different. You're not giving your opinion. You read a passage where someone is making an argument, and your job is to write an essay analyzing how that author builds their argument.
So analyzing their techniques.
Exactly. How they use evidence, reasoning, stylistic choices, rhetorical devices, whatever they use to be persuasive. It's an analysis task. And remember, write it on the lined paper they give you, not in the test booklet.
Right, and stay on topic or it doesn't get scored.
Correct.
Okay, we got the skills, the format. Now, how does the official guide say we should actually practice? It mentions the SAT suite of assessments first.
Yeah, this is a really smart point they make. The SAT isn't just one test in isolation. It's part of a whole system. SAT, PSAT and MSQT, PSA 10, even the PSAT 89 for younger students.
How does that help with practice?
Because they're all connected. They measure similar skills needed for college and careers. So taking any of those tests, like the PSAT, is actually really good practice for the SAT itself. The skills build on each other. Progress on one helps with the others.
Ah, it's like a continuum. Makes sense. Then there's the big one. Official SAT practice on Khan Academy. Free, right?
Totally free and incredibly powerful. It's made by the College Board people, the ones who make the SAT, along with Khan Academy. So it's official stuff.
What makes it so good?
Personalization. It gives you practice recommendations based on your strengths and weaknesses. Thousands of real official questions, video lessons explaining concepts step by step, full practice tests. And the kicker, link your College Board account.
Why link the account?
Because then Khan Academy could use your scores from the PSAT or previous SATs to give you really targeted practice. It focuses you right where you need the most help. It's super efficient.
Wow, that's smart. What about fitting practice into a busy schedule, like daily?
For that, they have the free Daily Practice app. It's designed for quick, regular practice bursts on your phone.
What's on the app?
Official questions, reading, writing, math with hints if you need them, and explanations so you learn from mistakes. The cool feature is scan and score. You can do a paper practice test, take a picture of your answer sheet with the app, and it scores it instantly and tells you what you missed.
That's super handy. The guide also mentions study groups. Is that really a thing for the SAT?
Apparently, yes.
Yeah.
And it can be really helpful. It keeps you accountable. You can track progress together, offer support. Maybe explain things you get that someone else doesn't, and vice versa.
Practical tips for that.
Yeah, they suggest keeping it small, like 2 to 5 people. Meet maybe once or twice a week for an hour or so,
Hmm.
and try to find people who have different strengths than you. You can learn from each other.
Makes sense. Okay, fast forward, you've done the practice, you're feeling prepared. Now it's almost test day. How do you manage the final stretch and those inevitable nerves?
So weeks out, you're still practicing. But the last few days, the focus really shifts to well-being, physical and mental.
Like what?
Daily exercise, managing stress, eating well, good brain food like proteins, whole grains, and the absolute biggest thing, sleep. Seriously, get good sleep. The guide even mentions how neuroscientists talk about the brain cleaning itself during sleep. Better focus, better memory. It's crucial.
Can't argue with good sleep. What about the day before the test?
Logistics, logistics, logistics. Plan your route to the test center. Know exactly how you're getting there, where to go inside, set 2 alarms, pack your bag with everything allowed, maybe a quick, calm review of the test directions just to keep them fresh. No frantic last-minute studying.
Okay, packing the bag. Let's be crystal clear. What must you bring?
Your admission ticket with a photo that actually looks like you now, maybe with the school seal on it. A valid photo ID, driver's license, school ID, passport, several number 2 pencils, not mechanical, with good erasers, an approved calculator, check the College Board list. A watch, but only for telling time, no smart features. And maybe a drink and snack for the breaks.
Got it. Now, equally important, what absolutely should you not bring? The prohibited list.
Right, this is super strict. Basically, no electronics that can communicate or record. So no cell phones, smartphones, MP3 players, recorders, tablets, laptops, smartwatches, fitness trackers, no separate timers, no cameras.
Anything else? Pens, highlighters.
Nope. No pens, highlighters, colored pencils, no books, dictionaries, no math tools like compasses, rulers, protractors. No scratch paper you write in the test booklet, no earplugs, and definitely no unacceptable calculators. Check that list online.
And the consequence if you have something you shouldn't.
They can just miss you from the test center, and your scores could be canceled. They're really serious about maintaining a fair environment. Don't risk it.
Absolutely not worth it. Any other potential pitfalls on test day itself?
Make sure that photo ID and admission ticket are sorted. Be on time. They won't let you in late. You can't just show up at a different test center. Changing test type, like adding the essay last minute, isn't guaranteed. And no walk-ins. Plan ahead.
Okay, you're in the room, pencils ready. What are the best strategies during the test?
Pacing is huge. Keep an eye on the clock or your watch. Check in periodically, maybe a quarter of the way through, halfway, etc. Second, use your test booklet. Underline, circle, make notes, treat it like scratch paper.
Smart. What about approaching the questions?
For reading and writing passages, maybe get the main idea first, before tackling specific questions. For multiple choice, try to think of the answer before you look at the options. Then find the choice that matches best. But always read all the choices before picking one.
What if you get stuck on a hard question?
Don't dwell. Seriously. If it's baffling you, mark it, skip it, and move on to ones you can answer. Come back later if there's time. It's about maximizing points.
And guessing. Penalty or no penalty?
No penalty. That's key. Answer every single question. Even if you can eliminate just one wrong choice, your odds get way better. So never leave a bubble blank.
Good advice. And if you finish early,
check your work. Make sure your answers on the answer sheet match the question numbers in the booklet. Maybe review questions you were unsure about. But be careful about second guessing. Only change an answer if you're really sure you made a mistake. Your first instinct is often right.
Okay, last big hurdle. Nerves and distractions. It happens to everyone. How do you handle it?
First, know it's normal. A little adrenaline can actually help you focus, but too much is bad. Recognize the signs: racing heart, shaky hands, feeling overwhelmed.
What helps manage it?
Perspective. Remember, colleges look at lots of things, not just this one score. During the test, try hard to focus only on yourself. Block out distractions. Don't worry about the person next to you. Just focus on your own effort. Push away negative thoughts.
And the fact that you can retake it?
Exactly. Many students take it more than once, often junior spring and then senior fall, and scores often improve. Knowing you have another shot can take some pressure off. And practice tests really help build confidence and reduce that test day anxiety.
Wow. That was incredibly thorough. We've really gone through everything in Chapter 2, haven't we? From the core skills, the SAT measures, through the test format, practice strategies, all the way to test day itself.
Yeah, I think we've hit all the key points from the official guide. It really paints a picture of the SAT, not just as a test, but as a way to showcase the skills you've been building all along.
Absolutely. And understanding all this isn't just about the score, like you said. It's about seeing how skills like careful reading, editing, problem solving, how they connect to college and work. The SAT kind of forces you to think like a researcher or an editor or a logical problem solver.
Well put. Those are skills you'll use everywhere.
So, a final thought for everyone listening. As you think about all this, the reading analysis, the writing conventions, the math problem solving, which part feels like the most interesting challenge or opportunity for you to focus on going forward? What are you maybe even a little excited to tackle?
Definitely something to consider. Thanks so much for tuning in for this deep dive with us. We really hope you feel better informed and more confident about tackling the SAT.